I want to talk a little bit about freedom, a few words on a massive subject. There's a pretty well-known line from a song that goes, "Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose." It's a clever line because there's a fiery element of truth in it, and it often is passed as a profundity. But try telling a refugee living in some desolate detention camp who assuredly has nothing, "Hey, be happy, you're free." Whatever freedom may be, it's clear that poverty doesn't equate to it. But it's also true that when you do have things, you're restricted by them in certain ways. Your possessions have a hold on you. When you have something to lose, your freedom is compromised. Another way of saying that is in the expression, "constant vigilance is the price of liberty." It's simple. When you have things, other people who don't have them are going to want them, even if it means taking them away from you. It's not right that they would want to steal these things from you, but from their perspective, it's not right that you should have them and they don't. What did you do to deserve them, other than the accident of birth? Shouldn't you at least share your good fortune? No. So they say you're greedy and it justifies their theft. They are seeking a new socialistic form of equality, justice, and freedom. So if you have things, life gets difficult, and the more you have, the more difficult it gets. I was watching a show about one of the huge conglomerates that had been brought to its knees by a computer hacker. This is not uncommon. It's happened to a number of big businesses and nations, and it's very hard to guard against this. An expert said that, practically speaking, security does not exist. It's impossible to defend a giant entity against a threat like this. The company's size works against it because every potential entry must be protected. It's relatively simple to get in, he said, because all you need is one entry and then you're inside the entire system. The odds are abundantly in favor of the intruder, the hacker. It's the old saw about the weakest link in the chain. The defender is tasked with thousands of protections. The invader needs only one access. A highly motivated attacker can succeed. The company or nation may be powerful, but it's vulnerable. It's not free. I was reading about the fighting in Iraq and Afghanistan. They seem to be very similar circumstances. And the claim was made that the insurgents, as they are called, don't have to win in order to triumph. All they need to do is survive. It logically follows that, if that is true, the only way to defeat them is to completely eliminate them, exterminate them, and that is not going to happen. And they know that. That alone gives them enough hope to carry on. We should understand this very well. Our nation, America, was created by insurgency, and those insurgents knew that what they needed to do in order to triumph was survive, to keep chipping away, and eventually the occupying forces would tire of the conflict and they would withdraw. The insurgents win because they believe they are fighting for a cause, which is their freedom. As long as one of them is left, they will continue to fight. The occupying force will eventually forget exactly what it is they are fighting for, and who is the enemy and who is not, and they will withdraw, not because they're beaten, but because the cost of the conflict in men and money is more than they want to bear. Unless you are prepared to kill everyone who opposes you, it is misguided to be an occupying force. The insurgents are fighting for freedom, country, and honor. This completely changes the equation. Their end game is beyond desperation. You are the aggressor. After some time you are just fighting and not doing a very good job of it. You continue to sustain losses and ultimately you say the hell with it, and you leave. The futility of the effort is obvious. Your superior power means nothing unless you are committed to use it to eliminate all who oppose you, including, inevitably, a high number of non-combatants, what is called genocide. If anyone tries this, the rest of the world will recoil in horror and put a stop to it. They will not permit you to win, not on those terms. So once again, you cannot win, you lose. This caution is usually not enough to stop nations from trying. They believe that they can crush the will of the insurgents with a show of force, shock and awe. They are wrong, and they will pay dearly for this error in judgment.